I could be a part of Doug's homecoming. And I can tell you that you saw from the video, Doug has been honored in Major League Baseball games, football games, hockey games. The Marines have honored him. Even the President of the United States came to meet Doug personally and give him his medals. But I can assure you that there is no sweeter award that Doug has ever received than when you come back to your hometown. You come back to your hometown and see that people respect you and want to give you congratulations for all that you've done for our nation. So on behalf of Doug and his family, thank you to the whole Kiski community, and thank you so much for the awards that you're giving them today. Before I get into telling you a little bit about Doug, I just wanted to say that we got to give thanks to the family. Because you see, when a young man or woman joins the military, when they join the military, the family joins the military. And there are endless hours of thinking about your loved one who's far away, and thinking about him, and praying for him, and having concerns for him. And that's what comes back to the family unit that joins the military with him. And so, Lexi, thank you very much for standing by Doug, and Doug's mom and dad, and Lexi's mom and dad, and the entire family. It's very important. So thank you very much. And I'd also like to say thanks to all the veterans that are here. When you think about a man or a woman who would desire to don the uniform of the U.S. military, I believe in my heart that they are coming in, they are answering a higher calling than any of us in our jobs. When these people came to joining the military, they know that they're going to be shipped out far from where they live. They're going to leave their homes far behind. And they're going to go into a foreign land. And oftentimes, that foreign land is not receptive to them. But they do it. And they do it because of their love for their country. And they go far away so that they can protect the home that they've left behind. So that they can protect your home. So that they can protect my home. And I love the words of Winston Churchill during World War II, who said, "We sleep safely at night because tough men stand ready to take violence to those who would harm us." These veterans, Doug Vitale, they stood ready to defend you and me from people who would desire to harm us. That's what's represented here by our veterans and Doug. Just a little bit about Doug. I knew him since he was born. He was born 3 days after my daughter Maria. She used to teach here in Kiski, but they grew up together. Doug, my son, Maria, they were like cousins, part of our family, very close part of our family. And I can tell you from a very young age, you know, you grab a little kid and you play around with them, and they usually giggle and roll up into a ball of yarn or something. But you grab a hold of Doug, he was going to give you everything he had. And let me tell you, there was substance there. Even as a little kid, there was substance and there was spirit. And Doug came to me when he got into high school, and he said, "You know, I think I'm going to go out for football." And I said, "That's great, Doug. That builds character in you. You go out for football, but let me tell you what, you're fighting two battles. First of all, you don't know how to play football. Second of all, you're not a part of the team." And what I mean by that is all those guys that have been playing football together since they were 8 or 9 years old, they formed a brotherhood. And you have to earn the right to be a part of that team. And so Doug's junior year, I think he did have a kind of a rough time his junior year. And I used to go watch him in practice and in the JV games, and I went up to him one time in church, and I said, I should have been saying this at church, but anyway. I went up to Doug and I said, "Listen here, Doug. Football can be complicated, but it's really simple. This is what I want you to do. Every play, you go out and knock somebody on their can. Whether you know what you're doing or not, knock somebody on their can. And you know what the coaches are going to say? They're going to say, you know, that Doug, he don't know how to play football, but he's fearless. And he'll knock somebody on their can every play. We got to teach him to play football. By By the time he was a senior, he was a 260-pound battering ram. He started in defensive tackle. And he got enough recognition by colleges that he got a scholarship up to Slippery Rock to play football. But after his freshman year, remember that higher calling that I told you about? That Doug answered it. And he joined the Marines. And Doug went into the Marines, and immediately they saw a spirit in Doug, and they saw a man that was able to defend himself. And they said, this is the kind of guy we want to defend our nation. And they put him into a FAST company. A FAST company is the Marine SWAT team. If there's problems in the world where Americans are involved, 24/7, they're deployed. And their mission is easy. Bring order to chaos. And that's what Doug did. And he served for 2 years in the FAST company, and then he went into the regular Marines. He went back out and he got deployed to Afghanistan. And when Doug went to Afghanistan, the night before he got hurt, he called his mom and dad and he said, you guys got to pray for us. It's living hell over here. We're getting shot at every day. Guys are getting hit. And I'm afraid for my boys and my squad and my platoon. Pray for us. We're going out tomorrow. And Doug led his men out the next day. And as he led them out, he stepped on an IED. He stepped on an IED and he started the battle of his life. And let me tell you, Doug doesn't want any sympathy. Doug doesn't want any kind of people feeling sorry for him, because Doug's a Marine to the core. Doug is a Marine to the core. And so you got to ask yourself, why do they do it? Why do these brave men do it? Why did Doug do it? And the answer is simple. They do it because of love. And you might be sitting there thinking, what are you talking about? He's a Marine. These guys in uniform are the bravest men. What are you talking about? Love. They love their country. They love their fellow soldiers. They love their family. They love the nation they choose to serve. That's why they do it. That's why they put themselves. That's why we sleep safe at night. Because they love us enough that they would take violence to those who would choose to harm us. That's why they do it. I just want to show you one thing to give you a little idea of what I mean. This is a Navy dry-fit undershirt that you can wear under your shoulder pads. My son's an officer in the Navy. His best friend from high school went to the Naval Academy. He played football at Navy. He graduated with a degree in chemistry. He can do anything he wants in this world. Do you know what he is? He's a Navy SEAL. He gave my son his shirt. It says Navy football. That's what it says. But that's not why I'm showing it to you. Underneath his shoulder pads, where you can't see anything, says this: greater love hath no man than this, that a man would give up his life for his friends. It's a verse out of the Bible. That's what they wear. And they mean it. They mean it to the core. And it's talking about the Lord who gave his life on the cross that we could have freedom for all eternity. But that's the same motto that they carry day in, day out. Why? So that we can sleep safely at night. because they are willing to take on anybody who would choose to harm us. So I'm going to ask you again, when you sleep safely tonight, you put your head on a pillow. I want you just to ask God to protect Doug, the servicemen, and everybody serving the military throughout the world. Just a simple prayer. And when you see these guys in uniform and you see Doug, I want you to give him a handshake. Give him a hug. And just tell him thank you. That's all they want. Just thank you. Thank you very much. May God bless you.